Hey everybody, welcome to the Combo Wombo podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Gimpy, and as always with me is the one, the only, the chipped monk. What's up, brother?
Hey man, what's happening, bro? Feeling good, fresh and so clean. Hit a shower.
Yeah, man.
Doing it.
It's awesome, man.
It, bro.
You look refreshed, man.
Yeah, I can't find my glasses, dude.
Oh,
I set them down on like the nightstand, and they fell out. And every time you drop glasses, because like you need glasses to see, they go into Narnia, and you're like, "Fuck, they're gone, dude." like it doesn't make sense. They should just be right there, right, below the surface that you dropped them, dude.
Yeah.
These things are gone, dude. I moved everything out of the way. I was looking around. I found my backup glasses, but they're busted, so they like would make me look like a lunatic if I wore them.
Gotcha. I appreciate that.
I've been doing that.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a havoc-filled morning, dude. I knew last night, like when I dropped into, I was like, but then I like hit the light. I was like, whatever. This is tomorrow's problem.
Right. For sure. And tomorrow's problems today.
That's right, dude.
It's all right, man. So,
yeah, dude.
let's take a sip of coffee.
Oh, I'm getting zipped up.
This weekend was my weekend to fully go into the sim racing community.
Oh no!
So as I said, I wanted to jump boost? In. I wanted to try out Assetto Corsa, and I bought the Ultimate Edition the other day, and I have everything set up. And after this pod is the time where I'm jumping into servers and learning how to play and all that stuff. So
it has begun, dude.
I'm gonna try out base game, try out some mods, and I was interested in what's called no hesi servers, where you're like highway racing and cutting lines and stuff. So that's as far as like the playing games front, that's what I'm on lately. I just wanted to use my wheel, really, because I have the wheel. I have a whole flight sim set up too of my wheel. Yeah, it's a Logitech G920.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it for a while. 920.
Oh shit!
And I've had it for a while. I got it when Forza came out, so I've been using it. But
yeah,
and I play a lot. I've been playing a lot of EA WRC, which is a rally game, and I've been really enjoying that to the point where my son also plays it, and he's actually getting legitimately good at rally driving, which is hilarious because he's 6. So
bro, you're getting pretty serious, dude. Get this man some dog tags and fingerless gloves, bro. He's really becoming a racer, sim racer, dude. He's taking it to the next level.
Right. We'll see.
You get a chainmail vest, dude.
Like he asked about playing Forza Horizon 5, just so it's like a big open world where you can just drive and not worry about racing. Yeah. So I was gonna install that again and let him drive around.
Do a Hot Wheels one too? Like
they did, but it doesn't have wheel support.
Oh,
we just play that with
it's a gross oversight.
Oh no! You mean the Forza Hot Wheels add-on?
Yeah.
That does. I thought you meant the Hot Wheels game, Hot Wheels Unleashed.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
So many Hot Wheels, dude.
Yeah, which I'll have to buy the DLC, but yeah, it'll be worth it. He'll get a kick out of it. So, good stuff, man.
Absolutely, man.
Dude. So I'll do a little quick update for myself on the game dev front. So, courtesy of Sir Solace, he got me some great placeholder art for my pig game. So I shared that with you. I started to redo my prototype. I redid my entire game design doc, as you know, that's a live document.
Yeah.
But
I was proud of you, man. That's awesome.
I got to a point
seen it. I saw the art. It's all looking good.
Yeah,
it's looking legit, dude.
Appreciate that. I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to show it. I'll probably post it on on our X and account pretty soon here. But once I get the prototype moving and done, but I got everything set up, redesigned the doc, because I got to the point where I was writing little notes to myself in the original doc, and then it started to become a scatter plot of thoughts. Where I was working on the game one day, and I forgot what my point was for a certain mechanic in the game. I'm like, why did I add this?
You just put a bunch of arrows pointing to like a word,
yeah,
and
no,
it's
and
like underlined 3 times.
because
Like,
you're only as good as the last notes you've taken, right? So the last notes I ever taken, I'm like, I'm gonna remember this, I'm gonna work on it right away. It was like 3-4 days, and I forgot. So, it's like I really need to reorganize this. So I,
yes,
went
sir.
back to the drawing board, and then I remembered how I wanted the gameplay flow to be, including how I want to implement any ads if need be, and things like that.
Yeah,
So it's like, okay,
get that money.
I should redo my prototype just with this in mind.
Turn
So
those pig farmers into pay piggies, dude.
and Sir Solis has been working on his own project as well for a while, and we've been talking about game dev quite a bit, and it's been super fun. So he supplied me with some great pixel art to go off of, and so I started redoing the prototype. My plan for the prototype is to get the behavior done. As I said before in this pod, I had the behavior system pretty much figured out. I have them when they want to go into the mud to play, go eat. I have a whole truffle system where the pigs are digging for truffles, and then an addiction system that I'm going to implement where the pigs can get addicted to the truffles. So your point
Can't
of
go
income
back.
is the pigs digging the truffles and you getting those truffles to sell.
Truffle
Also,
shuffle.
the pigs have to be graded for the pig show or whatever. So show pigs, and I have predators. I have protection from the predators using a dog. So that's the point where I forgot what I added the dog for. Where I was like, what the hell am I
I
doing?
don't know. Always put a dog in a game, dude. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. So I have
As long as you can
that.
pet it, dude, you gotta be able to pet the dog, dude.
Oh, of course. And I have my core gameplay loop now, like defined actually. So I'm like, okay, I can focus on this instead of just making random systems. So that's where I am. Hope this week I'm gonna work on the prototype quite a bit. I'll probably be sending you like little updates throughout the week and all of that.
Nice,
So,
bro. This what's up.
as long as my day job stays slow, knock on wood.
Yeah.
So that's where I am in the game dev sphere. I'm still using Game Maker Studio 2 for this. I believe everyone knows that, but we're hobbyists. It's sometimes we start talking, and I forget to mention it if it's someone's first time hearing the pod, or they're like, "The hell's this dude making it?" And see, no,
He's out here living it, dude.
Exactly. So what are you up to, man?
Man, I finished up that game. I bought you PINKMAN, the platformer.
Yeah,
it's fun. It's like $1. I think they made that in Construct, but
Construct too.
It took me maybe an hour to beat, if that. Yeah. It's fun. It's I didn't like. There's 100 levels. That's too many. They probably should have brought it down to 50. It was like a quick review for a game that's 10 years old or something.
It
was 100
definitely
levels.
N plus inspired.
Yeah,
and that had hundreds of levels. So
yeah, it could have been 50. There were some cool ideas in there. There's too many gimmicks. He kept introducing new gimmicks, and then he introduced RNG to it, which I hate, like the heat-seeking missiles and stuff. And then there's a lot of blind jumps, and then I don't know, it went from frustrating to just kind of funny. And then I found there's a button that lets you zoom out and see the whole map.
Yeah.
And then I just played the last 30 levels like that, and it became even easier. I wasn't struggling or anything, but I was mostly dying to blind jumps and bullshit. And once you can see it, you're oh, okay, this is way less frustrating. But you're also playing with a micro dude. That's why you need new glasses just for that, dude, just to see this little pink man running around.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all right. And I was surprised how many people actually beat it. Because they show you the achievements, and it's 30% of people got this achievement. It's oh shit, a lot of people who play this game seem to like it and beat it, but maybe it's because it's short, but
sometimes
it's fun.
That's what you're looking for, man. A nice short,
just little thing. You can because of the frustration, I had to put it down after 30 minutes, around level 50 or so, just to take a break, and then came back to a few days later and just dusted it up, and I was nice. If you're looking for a little quaint little dollar platformer to just have in your library, you can do that. Yeah, it's not bad.
Right, yeah.
Aside from that, man, game dev stuff, bro.
Supporting a fellow indie dev as well. So
sure,
PINKMAN, definitely.
The professor's been talking that ish, dude. He's oh yeah, we should work on some sort of game or something. And I was all right, dude. But he always does the most convoluted bullshit possible, right? So he's why don't we use, and I printed, he printed this out first, so then I printed out, we got a whole printout. It's a PDF. I can't show it here because of the screen, but Yeah, game development and Rust with Microquad. So yeah, I'm trying to learn Rust now and Microquad, which is like a 2D.
What's Microquad?
It's like
I'm not
yeah,
familiar.
it's a 2D
Just like
library.
framework or something. Okay.
No, just like a lib. Like there's no framework, dude. There's no engine. It's just you're writing everything by text and hopes and dreams. Which is
right.
That's just cool. I like that. Like I was trying to get him into like little JS or something. I think he hates Java now because of all the internet hate.
Sure.
Which is weird to me. Like I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think it's like anything that's popular, people are just gonna hate, like because it gets the clicks and the views. And like I know like a lot of people are worried about like garbage collection and memory leaks and shit. Like I was playing around in Rust and like I was following along with tutorials and stuff, and this was like most of my weekend. And I got to the point where I was like, I got like like part of the demo. So kind of the cool thing about Rust is like it doesn't let you compile without fixing bugs that show up. So it's like, hey, this is busted. We're not gonna let you compile this. So you got to handle like all that stuff, and that does like I think garbage collection and stuff for you as well. It's a little bit hard to get your head around because it's like a entity component system, so it's not like object oriented or a willy nilly machine gun like Lua or JavaScript or some might say even Python. And I don't know, it's fun, dude. I don't know. I get my head around, but I told the professor this because he's like, yeah, it's like really hard to learn. I was like, I've been looking at the entity component system in Unity. So they've been trying to switch to like a similar type of structure for their coding and using like higher mathematics. And, it's not too bad. Like, but I also like spent hours and hours watching different people explain like that system. Sure. So maybe coming to this, I'm just like, oh yeah, I kind of get this, just enough to get in trouble, but not being able to just like compile and break shit is kind of annoying because it's like, hey, fix your code before you can see if it like works how you intended it or not, because there's no tools, right? This is just you just type it into a void and like you're using your mind's eye to like visualize the shit. So I made like 2 frames of like just simple windows with like text on them from like the demo, and I didn't do something right.
You hello worlded it.
Yeah, basically. Sure. But even that, like, because of like the way like the structure was, like if I closed one window before the other, it would still crash it. So I could put that like feather in my cap, I guess, as I can crash rush programs. Like I'm that bad of a programmer. Or like, yeah, fuck that, dude. I know they're saying this is bulletproof and tight shit. I still bust that shit up all the time, dude. Constantly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I don't know. Rust it's fun. And like I'm not going too deep into it. We've read this book. It's like 100 pages. I think without the images and stuff, it's like 70-ish pages. We printed that out because the professor sent me a picture of him like, I printed this out. So I was like, fuck it, I gotta do the same thing. Like, you gotta be the older brother here. So I printed mine down there, put like some controllers and stuff on my picture to just one up them.
Yeah.
So it's 2D. It's interesting. I don't also see the huge like performance benefits for this type of stuff. Like again, like just using like TinyJS or like a lot of like JavaScript stuff like P5JS, I'm able to get like 100,000 sprites on screen, no problem, in the web browser.
What's your plan for your game though? Are you using 3D
there
assets?
There is no plan, brother.
Assets, so you're just coding in Rust just cause.
Pretty much. I sent you that one prototype about like the time warp game, where it's like it's basically a survival like type game bullshit. Everyone, as is the style at the time, everyone's making a top down survival Vampire Survivor clone. So I don't know, the professor put that as our North Star as well, but I was playing around with that and then like and in Rust, and I got some stuff up and running. I got some things where I converted some of my projects over, and some of the like stuff with like windows and frames, like again, just because like it's more visual, I had to literally like write down like each of the things I want to happen in each of the frames and like the layout for it,
and like
for like the windows
step sequence.
No, just to have the GUI, because it's GUI, dude. Yeah, gotcha. It's just graphical user interface, gotcha. UI, UX design, but it's all fucking through code, dude. So I'm like, I got everything to show up, but like some buttons were like happening behind other buttons. Some windows were coming up over buttons. Like I had like a preview window that was like happening behind 2 frames. I had like, just shit like that. And I'm just like, man, what the fuck is happening? So I had to like write down everything. I wrote like an enum basically to like have different states of like the windows. So like you can load in, basically what I make is like a quick character animator. It's like one of the first things I do.
Sure.
So I can load in now like a texture, get that up, and then like I can set like the rows and columns and numbers of animation, and then like set the frame rate. And then from that, I hit next, and then it brings me over to like a controller. So then like each controller I can assign different animations to like that. And I got that basically kind of working. There's still like, some edge cases and weirdness with it. But then all that exports out like, Rust code at the end of all that bullshit. And it basically works. But like, again, like the frames and like how things are like generated just don't work right. And that's
so
just writing shit out.
This sounds like, way too complicated for a mess around project. Like, you're making your own engine, basically.
Dude, there are tools. Dude, I
you're
love
making
the
your
tools.
own tools for it.
Famously, I love tooling.
You have no plan to get there. You have a North Star.
Yeah.
What? Like, what's the... Like, I guess who's driving the project, and
there's nobody,
why
bro.
was
this
Rust
is like,
decided upon?
I think the professor just wanted to learn it, dude.
Okay.
I think it was like the new shiny thing again. Like everyone's hyping it. I was like, how about we use Go? Because that's also like new and shiny. It's like supposedly a lot easier to code in. And
okay,
I came to that conclusion.
I feel like every week on this pod we talk about the new shiny code that you're interested in now, or new shiny like language.
Well, it's the professor, dude. He keeps me like,
okay.
Oh, what about this? Loop? What about this?
Okay.
Yeah, so we're like, oh, what if we just use like Raylib, which is also just like, a framework.
That's what I thought what you guys were using before.
Yeah.
So
I think like we're using this as like a soft transition to it, because like Macroquad only uses 2D stuff.
Okay.
And I got like embarrassingly far at like taking a trench broom map, and I got that to like show up, but it just shows up as blocks because it can't do like any of the vertex transforms.
Okay.
So I like looked at like somebody else's like C compiler for using the maps, and I like was able to somewhat reverse engineer that with the help of AI.
Sure.
To be like, all right, I kind of got this. I can get it to kind of load up, and I was like, oh, I'm still having issues, and then I was like able to like get it to fucking load, dude. It was pretty dope, actually. I was like, yeah, this is. I took a 2D engine and like fucking busted it over my knee like Wolfenstein 3D almost. I was like, damn, all right, this is tight. And then like afterwards, like I just kind of felt a little empty inside because I was like, if I was just using like a real like 3D thing
engine, you could have gameplay now.
I'd already be playing the game. Dude.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit bittersweet, but I was looking at other things that are out there, and I sent the professor a bunch of these like different videos that are just like fun coding challenges that people do to do different things, like cellular automaton, Boyd things, flocks, stuff I've done and talks about here on the pod.
When I did the Boyd movement for our Game Jam game, I was just like, never again. Yeah. But it was cool to learn. But it was a pain in the ass to get it to work how I wanted it to work in my head. But
yeah, man, like just like stuff like A-star pathfinding, or like what's the other one, like Flow, where they uses like Flow Graph or whatever.
Yep.
There's different stuff out there, and I've been playing around with that. I was playing around with ProcGen stuff as well over the weekend.
Okay.
Actually, I was like during the week. I was making like ProcGen stuff to like try and figure out how to procedurally generate stuff, and so let's play around with that.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just different like fun coding challenges, stuff to keep the tools sharp.
Sure.
And I've just been looking at like minimalist game design and game designs that people were playing like on the App Store like 10, 15 years ago, because they were also dealing with like a ton of limitations.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I think, it's just talking shit, we'll see. Yeah. I always just call the professor on his bluffs, and we'll see like how much further he gets with this.
As a friend, I worry that the tooling is too much to learn and create at the same time. Just because, we both know how long the projects take, and just some of the pain points for it. So some of the pain points you're doing for learning a completely new thing, and I'm not saying don't do it, obviously, and I think just speaking it aloud for anyone listening, if they're thinking about using their own engine,
buddies just long before, dude, as well, where it's like you need to decide: are you trying to make a fucking video game, or are you trying to make a game engine?
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with either one, but you need to decide, and like there's better tools for it. Like I don't know. That's why I was like trying to get the people on like Unity or Unreal, like we could, again, like we just said jokingly, but also seriously, it's like I could just import a level into Unreal, and we could have like some sort of game going within like an hour or two. And then we're like refining ideas and iterating.
Yeah, and I think Professor wants the challenge of making his own engine too.
He
But
might, dude.
but also, you guys both have full-time jobs.
Yeah, he has a
He
family,
has a
dude.
family. It's just sometimes like, if is your goal to complete the project, or is your goal to talk a lot of shit?
I think his goal is just to have something fun
or
to
get
keep his
keep
tools sharp and
sure, sure,
yeah, keep his mind sharp and just to have fun.
sure.
Sometimes like people just enjoy like again, like I do like those coding challenges and stuff. Like
Like puzzle
there's people who
boxes,
play
stuff like
like
that.
chess puzzles or
Hmm.
like Sudokus or whatever. I've just long come to terms with like video game as a hobby for me is like my Sudoku puzzle where like I just sit down and do things and like uh what was the Buddhist who like make like a giant sand image and then they just let the wind blow it away after
Yeah,
days of like building it?
yeah,
It's like one
yeah.
of those
Just
things,
learning to let go. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
dude,
the
it's
state of
letting go of
Zen.
like
Yeah.
just yeah, dude, it's like to me it's just relaxing and I enjoy it. But again, like I
It's
think
gonna be
also
really different working with me over the summer, dude. It's
yeah.
it's gonna be really different.
Yeah, I think I have that other gear. Like, me,
Yeah,
like I
yeah,
can like produce and like build stuff. Uh
yeah.
and like I like that like the steel sharpening steel, which is why I've been like, like why I'm like excited about the professor wanting to learn Rust, wanting to like do something in the game field. Uh and yeah, I've gotten like way fucking faster at doing shit too now, dude. Like it's been pretty crazy actually.
Yeah.
Like where I'm like, oh yeah, like you forget like all the like it's like if you're playing a video game and then like you're like you started on like stage one or whatever, and then like you get to the
Yeah.
end boss, and then like you beat that, and then you're like, oh, let me just like roll it back to stage one again, and you fucking just
Just zoom.
destroy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just run
Yeah.
it through it, and you're like, oh, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're zooming through the stages 1 through 10 of game design right now. You're just
Yeah, dude. Where like I can get
yeah.
up and running like prototypes within like several hours.
Yeah, you are very quick at getting a viable product out.
Yeah, just like an
I will give you
MVP.
that for sure. For sure.
And I know there's like a difference between like going from like 0 to 1 and then like 1 to 100.
Yeah.
But like just 0 to 1's like pretty hard for a lot of people. Like it's like insanely hard. Like it takes like I think people underestimate and they undersell. They're like anyone can learn game design and stuff. It's like there's so many cross disciplines and stuff. It's like even just coding, like it's gonna take you about 3 to 5 years, depending on like your skill level and stuff. And you might be able to do it a little bit faster, a little bit longer. But that's real talk, dude. Like it's not like sugar coated bullshit. No like courses being sold here. Like
it's the scope to your own knowledge definitely has a correlation there. If your scope is huge and your coding knowledge is very low, it's going to take you forever because you're learning as you go, right?
yeah,
I think if your scope's smaller, you can point to a specific thing, right? Like say you're making a simple platformer, right? A lot of these game engines, I think 99.9% of them have like a basic platformer behavior or module or something to get you started. It may not have the physics, it may not have the gravity, it may not have like some of the functionality that you want, but if you want to run and jump, you basically have that, right? In
you
most
can do
engines.
5-10 minutes.
So I think that gives you a leg up. And if you're like myself, or you'll dive in and learn how that object works to make something on your own later. What helped me is I also like very small projects, right? So just like little mini games and stuff like that. So a lot of times I would just make like tiny little mini games just to see if I could do one mechanic, and then building that up so that one mechanic becomes two mechanics. Those two mechanics become levels. Those levels become 3 levels. Those and then at the end of the level, what do you get for most video games? A boss, right? So then you learn how state machines work, how behaviors work, how how timing triggers work for certain attacks, line of sight. You learn all of that, and I learned that over the time of doing game dev, which if I go back and people would go, hey, could you list game developer on your resume? Probably not, right? Because there's so many different things like art, music, programming, I think, and also bug hunting and fixing is a definite skill as well.
Even like game designer is like a skill set in its own. It's like it's not even like paper prototyping or anything. It's more like spreadsheets. That's what game designers really do. Like again, like I famously said, like the best place to make a game is probably like an Excel spreadsheet. Like if you do like a Monte Carlo simulation where if you can like do balancing, if you can like again, like think through the problem before like you're coding things without like a visual thing or like paper prototyping a thing. Like that's where like the design part is. Like level design's like a whole different discipline. Like the art's a different, music different, like you know, 3D art, animate, like it's all different stuff. That's what I'm saying. Like realistically, like it's depends on like what you're trying to do, but like making small prototypes or small games, like, you know, it's fun to do.
Yeah,
it is. It is. Dude, it's relaxing if you're good at it. It's it can be frustrating or heartbreaking as well if you are struggling. Like, it's not for everybody, dude. Like,
I'll say for me, it's nice to when working on like especially my run of small projects last summer, right? Having something complete. And if you noticed on every single small project I did when I was learning one mechanic or anything, I made a menu. And I had an end screen to go back to the menu, right?
Yeah.
For me, that's like the stamp of completion, and it's for my own like mental, you know, just to go, okay, this is done. I learned this mechanic, or I did this. So you know that right now, my goal is to combine all of that to a full project because I haven't done a full scale project on my own yet, and that's something that I want to get that monkey off of my back. That's why I'm going for it. You know, I've had people go, "Hey, you want to?" And I'll of course accept help, right? I'll of course accept it, but it's my idea. It's my baby at this point, right? Like when raising a kid, people say it takes a village. When creating a game, sometimes it takes a village, right? And luckily, in my own village, I have not only you, I have Sir Solus, I have Sir Trike, I have friends and family who are in the space, who are also such beacons of just positivity towards it, but also can give me a critical eye when I need it. So
it also helps that like you have people that understand just how difficult it is.
Yes,
because like I'll show like people like my coworkers or whatever, like, oh yeah, I made this, and they're like, oh cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
exactly.
You have no idea.
All cool doesn't help. You know?
Yeah. There's there's some value in that or whatever, but you know, it's very like, oh, you really don't understand how difficult this is, bro. I'm like a fucking black belt and showing you like some cool ass, like, 10-piece combo that I came up with like off the book, off the rip, dude.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, whatever, man.
Right. Yeah. So, not only the people in my life, but the people who give us their time to listen to this, it does help. It does help because oftentimes we'll get other views of people who are either not in hobbyists or in the full game dev. Some people do it for a living, right? And they're like, okay, what are these two dudes doing, right? We're
just two chuckleheads,
just talking shit. But I think
it helps to like have people who have like joy in it still too as well. Like if you like, you can get grinded out or whatever. You can like, especially like when you get to like a bigger double or triple A studio, you become more like
it's one
siloed, more compartmentalized.
What's one of the biggest turnover industries just out there. Like people burn out, and then they, like most people who try it burn out, and then they work in like it's like the business space, medical field, government field, just making maintaining a database or something, something.
So you say you get hired, you're like, oh, I'm gonna be a game designer. This is gonna be awesome. You go there, and it's like my day is spreadsheets and meetings. Like, so you get to see the finished products or any other part of the tool chain. You're just like there, and you're like, yeah, I just sit here and look at this paper. I'm like, I think that'll probably balance.
Yeah.
And then like you're getting feedback from like QA and stuff, and you're like trying to reverse engineer, like, do I just up these numbers? Will that fix it? Kind of fix up, it creates these other problems. Like,
for sure.
Stuff like that, dude.
But with our last minute or so here, Chip, do you have any goals for this coming week? Do you have anything that you're looking forward to with Rust or any other thing you're working on?
No, just mostly just been playing around, tooling around. It kind of helps again that we're just like in a fucking void of bullshit right now.
Yeah.
But that's kind of nice because it's keeping me engaged at least with the hobby. Whereas like for a while, I was just like just chilling, just vibing, not caring, dude.
Yeah.
I can throw out a conspiracy theory about vibe coding that's been picking up in the algorithm.
All right,
where it's like
30 seconds, go.
Okay. So they're like, oh yeah, it's just people saying that they're letting the AI do all the code for them. This is bullshit. And like, it's all these people's like hot takes on it. But I think this is being propagated by the people making the AI. So more people use the AI to code and then fix the code for them. So it like gets better at coding. So they could like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh yeah, it's great for that. Just do it.
Sure. That makes...
it's like we need more data sets to learn shit. How can we do that? Like, let's just prop this up and get some rage and clickbait, get some eyes on this, dude. It's bullshit, dude. Don't do it.
I like it. I like the conspiracy.
Yeah. That's it, man.
All right.
Like, share, subscribe. Yeah.
All right. We're out of here. Keep creating, everybody. See you next week. Later.